Welcome back to Educated Arguments. As you see, this is a different scenery than it usually is, and I have a couple of different people here. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Well, yes. My name is Ray Ray.
I'm Ola or Kumi or I don't know. Ola.
My name is Dara.
This is fake ass voice. My name is Dara.
Oh, shut up. So yeah, let's continue.
Anyways, let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into it.
Please,
So when I have people on here, I want to have just a check-in to see how everybody's week is going, how their day is going. So one by one, how was your guys' week?
My week has been going really well. My birthday was last week and I had a lot of fun. And yeah.
My week has also been very calm. Nothing crazy. Took my final anatomy exam ever, so very happy about that.
my week has been very unproductive. I've literally done nothing. I've just been lazing around because it's the last week of school. So class, I've not been going. Assignments, I've not been doing. But we're pushing through.
So if you had to choose one moment from this whole week that stood out the most, what would you choose? And why?
I would say the highlight of my week was last night or yesterday. Yesterday was my grandpa's birthday. He turned 87.
Wow.
Really old. Mind you, this man is moving, walking around, running, jumping.
Jumping.
Yes. He's so active, and I'm just really proud of him. And just it was really cute. I had a dinner last night, so I love you.
Cute. I don't know. I guess getting the last anatomy exam over with was pretty nice. Nothing much has happened this week in specific, but yeah, it's been a okay week.
I know. Ashley could just drop it.
Two seconds ago, bro.
So that has actually been the highlight of my entire week.
My gosh, bro.
This is actually a new segment I'm trying to do called Culture Check. And basically it's I get, or even the comment section, they'll just give me something to talk about that happened throughout the week, throughout pop culture and things like that. So for this week, we're talking about the Drake and Toronto and his Iceman stuff.
Oh, I thought talking about Clay and Megan.
We're not getting into that yet at least.
Oh.
We'll see.
Give me on that podcast.
Yeah, I want to know about that.
Oh wait, so you all know about what he did with the ice?
Yeah, there was ice and people breaking it. Yeah.
Okay. So
Wasn't there cash in the middle?
I don't even know.
50K.
I don't know what was in the middle.
I swear it was money.
I saw someone broke it and they got it and they just went off with it. I don't know what was in the middle.
I look he needs to be
Toronto?
In Canada, Drake to promote his album.
So why did you say yes?
No, because I've been seeing videos of it, of people breaking ice, and I know it's maybe a countdown for his album or something.
It was to promote it. It was just a giant ice structure and
Isn't it still there?
I think the government melted it away or something.
No, they have that's part of the question. That's what I was gonna ask.
Oh.
Okay. So how do you feel about the situation? Because I know you guys don't obviously live in Toronto, but let's say you have to go to work, but you have to take a different route just because there's ice in the middle of the road. How would that make? How would that?
Wait, it was in
the
middle.
Oh my God!
That's
That's something woke to say, because the whole situation going with ice and stuff. People said it was very tone deaf that he did that because I don't know if ice is a thing in Canada. I'm sure they have their version.
I'm pretty sure.
But
I don't know.
But the thing is, they were saying Drake has never been known as Iceman. He's been known as old Champagne Pappy. He's never been known as Iceman, and now all of a sudden, he's going by Iceman. So when you search up Iceman on, or when you search up Ice on Google or something, his picture pops up instead of what's actually going on with Ice and stuff.
Yeah.
And then then you get the other side, the environment people talk about waste of water and this and that, yeah.
Yeah, because they were talking about how. Because you mentioned the government had to get involved. They said that they were sending fire trucks to just literally close it down.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Mind you, there's people out there who need
That's what I'm saying. So do you think that he went too far in terms of putting the ice in the street, or is it just
Well, it's in the middle of the street, like people are driving.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I
People have
didn't
to,
know
like, change
it was
their
the
route.
middle.
No,
of the
that's
street.
very like, you know what?
Very
I feel like-
selfish.
I'm pretty sure it's in the middle of the street. Let me check because.
Because I thought it was just like on the side, like
Yeah, it looked like it was like in
But
the
it's
middle of
too-
a construction.
Yeah, that's what
Even
I was
that
thinking.
does that make it better?
I mean, if it's not in the middle of the street, it's not blocking people's
Construction,
like.
so that's still a nuisance to the construction workers.
I mean,
Essentially.
obviously, you bought the land to put it on there.
I don't
what
think he bought the
Yeah,
land.
I was thinking he like bought a piece of land to put it on.
I highly doubt he would buy a piece of land just to promote it. Well, you never know.
Like,
It is
it's
Drake.
Drake.
Like,
It is Drake.
Drake, please, if you go on tour, I still need tickets, please. Please, I still need tickets. Don't be, I'm not.
Oh,
I still need
bro.
tickets, Drake. Like, please.
It's here, guys.
It's not even showing the ground. They just show people like climbing on top of it.
Yeah, but that area looks like a residential area, so I feel like it's gonna be inconvenient no matter where you put it.
But my thing is, what's happening to like the ice, like the water when it's melting? Like, is that not like a environmental?
Okay.
hazard?
This
That's
is
a
like the
little-
whole picture.
Okay,
See,
so
that's
it's
not
just
a
blocks
road.
of ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not on a road.
It's just like on, I don't know, some like inside.
So they just Drake just put up a bunch of ice
Yeah, basically.
for his.
And I think he had a streamer like revealed what it was for, and it just said like a date on it.
Ice Man
Yeah.
Trust that will be listening to.
I will be as
Wow.
So do you think it was too far? Or do you think like what exactly does that?
I just feel it was a tad bit unnecessary. I don't think it was like, oh my gosh, like we need to be talking about this. I just think it's something that you just see continue on your day because he already like Drake. People with money, they're gonna do stuff.
Yeah.
With their money, so you can't really control what they do or don't do. He's not hurting anyone. Is it potentially not the best for the environment? Well, yes, but it's not really hurting anybody. So.
Yeah.
Because for
I agree.
me, because Toronto, the people of Toronto all kind of like look at Drake, like Toronto is more. When people think of Toronto, they think of Drake.
Yeah.
They don't think of any like they think of some
And
basketball
JD,
players
yeah.
and other people or whatever, but mostly Drake. So a lot of the the Toronto residents, they kind of expect things like this.
Mm.
So like, how would you feel if like, let's say G Herbo's let's do the same thing?
G Herbo and
He's
Drake
not
are
on
on
the
the
same
same
level.
Like, G Herbo.
But like the same level in terms of who's like Kanye.
I feel like the people of Chicago, I feel like people of Chicago are very opinionated. Like, if they think it's bothering the neighborhood or something, like, they're gonna, like, call the police or some shit. Like, maybe the people of Toronto let it slide. But I just don't think, I don't know.
But like, I just think even Kanye, like, I don't think is that crazy to say?
'Cause he's, like-
on the same.
He's from
Like,
Chicago. His whole thing is that he's from Chicago. So like, I feel like in terms of like the biggest
So like, if
person
he
from,
put like an ice thingy in
Yeah.
Chicago, I think it would be more like broadcasted.
So if Ashake did the same thing in Nigeria.
Hey!
Well.
Bring out my shot, yeah.
But no, I'm saying like I think it would be more broadcasted. Like if
Yeah, because
if it was done in
Toronto is in
America.
Canada, so it's like a whole different.
Yeah, like I don't think
Yeah.
Toronto people.
They're chill.
They're just like they don't be.
They don't, like,
act-
cool and holler,
Yeah.
like...
Oh, I hate their accents, but
If the business is
If
strong,
the business is strong,
you got your mom's in the
Hey,
know, somebody gotta smoke that.
somebody gotta smoke that.
Alright.
you're too close to that. You are from Toronto. Okay, yeah, like I said, that other part was just like a little other segment. The main part of the episode is social media and its effect on everybody, especially college students.
Y'all picked the right person to be in
Here
this
she go,
podcast.
y'all.
Let me tell you.
Here she goes.
Here she goes, y'all.
So, okay. I had 3 different sections about this. The first one is Instagram. Question for all of you. Have you ever deactivated your Instagram and why?
I can go since I feel like I was the most recent, right? Or no?
I think all was recent, but yours lasted longer.
Yeah, yours lasted.
You were
You were
deactivated
gone
for a
for
while.
like a couple months.
Yeah.
I was the whole summer.
Yeah.
Like actually. But I feel like I did it because like summer I just really wanted to like actually be like in the physical because I feel like freshman year, because like for one, moving to not moving, but like going to college, obviously not seeing my high school friends anymore. I really heavily depended on social media to like communicate with like my old like best friends and like my really close friends from high school, and like because obviously they all go to a whole different state, a whole different area, so like we're not seeing each other every day like we used to, and like we needed social media. I mean, obviously I have their numbers, but like social media is how you like see the spam, the post, everything, like that's how we use it every day. So I feel like over the summer I really just like deleted it to like, because for one they were back in town, so like I just wanted to like be more in the physical with my friends, and like family also was a really big thing because my aunt and her kids, which I'm also really close to, came from Nigeria to America for the summer, and I just felt like social media was just like, I don't know, I felt like I was starting to like, I don't know, I just felt like I needed a detox. Like it was starting to get too much. Like I started to like compare myself to a lot of people, and I just wasn't liking the version of myself I was kind of becoming a little bit. And I feel like I needed to, like, Instagram was a really big thing, and it didn't used to be a big thing, and for some reason freshman year it just became a big thing. Like freshman year, like you're in college, everyone's asking Instagram. Oh, how are you? What's your major? Instagram. How are you? What's your major? Instagram. And I feel like it started becoming a big thing for me specifically. And I was like, okay, this is getting too much. I needed to delete. So I didn't delete. I deactivated. Then I deleted Instagram. But even like at the beginning of the summer, like I still caught myself. Like I would go on my laptop, search on my account, and like that was how far. And I was like, Ray, like this is getting too much. So like I stopped completely, like just going on the app, like deleted from my phone and everything, like stopped going using my laptop, and like it was getting too much. And like I feel like it did help. Obviously I have it back now. I will say like I'm not using it, or like the reason why I deleted it in the first place is not there anymore, because like I feel like I'm being a little bit more responsible with the app right now, and when I need to get off, I'm off. When I need to be responsible, I'm responsible. When I need to talk to my friends or post whatever on my spam or my main, I'm posting it. Like it's not as like preoccupying as it was in the past. So like I feel like deactivating it did help, and I will suggest if you need to deactivate. It's just an app. It's not gonna kill you.
I guess the mics were on at some point, but then they died. But it doesn't. There's no way for you to know that it died. So it was you that you were about to answer the question too. Yeah. So we'll just continue off of that.
Okay. So what was I saying?
Ramadan.
Oh yeah. So I deactivated my both Instagram accounts, my main and my spam, like a few weeks before Ramadan, and I kept it deactivated for I think most of it. Part of it was because I just feel like during like getting prepared for Ramadan and throughout the month, I just like to be in a different mindset where I'm using my time more wisely, and I'm not just like scrolling, posting on Instagram, So that was like one reason. And another reason also too, like that point in the semester, I was just not doing the best mentally. And then when you're getting on social media and you're seeing X, Y, and Z, they're doing this, they're doing that, and you start comparing yourself to that, like Ray said, like most of the time it really doesn't affect me, but like when you're like not at your best mentally to where like that you can achieve whatever you want, when that's not running through your head all the time, things like comparison and stuff like that can get to you. So I just feel like social media low-key just had to go. And it's not like good to always constantly be on social media, because you're like, oh, people are like, oh, dopamine, you're frying your brain, but like that stuff really is true. Like I feel like for a couple weeks, like, or not even a couple weeks, just like a couple days at a time, people should really just deconnect. Is that what it's called? Disconnect from social media for a bit, because it's like not reality. And once you start getting too caught up in what's not reality, you start losing it up here, So I just feel like social media, it can be good in doses, but for something especially like that's as important as Ramadan for me, I just wanted to be in that full like mindset. And then when Ramadan was over, I reactivated my account, and like I always use or try to use social media in moderation, because it's not every day,
I've never deactivated or deleted any of my social media, and I think the main reason is because like to me it's really just for like shits and ish and giggles. Like if it gets to a point where it's like, oh, this is bothering me, like I'll just close the app. Like it's never bothered me enough to where it's like, this is really like, you know. And I think part of the reason why is because like I'm mainly on my spam, and my spam is just my friends. So like I know I can post whatever I want without being judged. I know I can like do whatever I want without being judged. And sometimes like I think maybe sometimes it does get to me because I have like a really like big phobia of posting on my main, but I'm starting to learn like it's really not that deep. It's my page. I can do whatever I want. So
guess who told her that?
Not you.
It was me.
Not
it
you.
was me.
Not you.
It was me.
Not you.
It was me.
Anyway, yeah, like to me it's just never that deep. So I've never had a reason to deactivate. Even when it's like time to log in for school, like I'll just turn off my phone or something. Like I don't know, it's never bothered me.
The reason I ask is because I know some people kind of struggle with the things that you guys are talking about, like kind of losing yourself with social media and kind of depending on it to talk to people and like seeing how their lives are, in quote, better than yours or whatever. And my next question is, do you recommend or would you try to deactivate your own page?
I feel like if it really gets to a point where it's like I start like spiraling, because you guys are seeing like comparing yourself to people on Instagram, but that's like me with like LinkedIn. That's why I deleted LinkedIn, because like all these people are so much more. Because I wanted to be performative, but I'm like all these people are better than me, so I deleted it. But with Instagram, like I never get that feeling, and I've never reached the point where it's like, oh, maybe I should deactivate, but I don't. Hopefully, I don't reach it, but you never know.
I also think, aside from like comparison and stuff, I just think it's good to like, even if you don't deactivate, just to delete social media for a bit and like just live life without it, because I feel like we get like too caught up with social media being part of our routine that like when it's not there, it's like, oh, what do we fill our time with? You know, like you can be so much more productive with your day, fill your day with so many like new hobbies, get so much more done when you don't have social media. So other than like the comparison or spiraling, all that stuff, just to be more like in tune with your day, I feel like deleting social media occasionally is helpful.
I agree, like, you know, it's good to like just get it out of the way, but also like I understand like, oh, you might feel left out, or like you're not getting like the same amount of like, I don't know, you're not getting all the memes and like all the whatever, because I definitely felt that, like especially like over the summer, especially like with all like the political stuff, like I was like, dang, like all this stuff going on and I know nothing, with the whole like, you know, CK situation, like, you know.
That was worse.
CK.
Wait, when
Anyways,
He died
like
first semester.
Yeah, first semester, but like I low-key still had to delete it, like, but like with that whole situation, like seeing like I mean that was like good and bad, because like I was like, apparently people I'm close to were like posting, but then like people.
Let me tell you something.
No. Hold on. Whoa. So like at the same time, like I would say like I was kind of glad I wasn't seeing that a little bit, because like I don't want to see like you like, okay, now I'm thinking about you in a different way, because I don't want to see that at the same time. But then I will say, like especially with the whole political stuff, like me not being in tune or like getting my news from social media kind of made me like go to like, I started reading articles. Mind you, I never read articles ever in my life for news. I started watching the news with my parents. Like, mind you, I don't do that. So like I was getting my news from like other places. Like it's not only social media. Like, you know, you might feel like, oh, you're not getting all the memes, or like you're not, you know, on what's the word, like on to, or like on par, I don't know, with like, you know, everything else. But like with my friends around me, like they would be saying it or using those things, so like I was still kind of in the loop. You know, I might be looking confused, but like at the same time, like there's other ways, you know, you can have your fun, or like you don't have to be included in everything. I be feeling FOMO, but it's okay. You're gonna live, and you can get your news from other places. Like it's not only social media.
I feel like I feel like I have a much different mentality. Like, while I understand what they're saying, to me, especially on my spam, I kind of view it as like a place to do my memories. Like, when I post on my spam or I go on my spam, I don't think like, well, I'm about to open Instagram again. It's like a second camera for me. Like, I just post because like, I like to think other people like, because I'm very social and like my spam, because I started sophomore year of high school, it originally started as like a place to keep my memories, but I'm like, might as well turn it into spam. Do you get? So for me, it's just like to look back, because even now I look back on memories from like freshman year of high school because I've had it for so long, and like in the future I look at it, oh, like memories from college. Do you get? So it's like that's how I perceive social media. Like it's just like rainbows and sunshine in my brain. I'm not gonna lie when it comes to Instagram.
But like for me, I'm like dead in the middle between both, because how you are with your spam, that's how I am with my spam. Like you'll get added soon. You'll be added to the army. Anyway.
Oh, here we go.
But yeah, my spam was like, I don't care what is in there. I'll post whatever I'm thinking in the moment, and then half of the time I don't look at it until like a couple hours later, till I see everybody hating in the comments. And then yeah, but then my main page, I deactivated that like around the same time you did too, just because of the same things. And it's just like when I went back to it, I look at it, even want it. I'm like, what's the point of the Instagram?
Yeah.
So I definitely think for the main. The spam was always gonna be there.
Yeah,
But I feel like it's gonna get to a point where it's like, especially when I'm older, like if I have kids, I don't think I'm gonna really use Instagram. I feel like it's gonna get to a point where like kind of like how I think most of our parents are now. They don't really get like the jokes we be making just because they're not on that side of social media or they don't use it as much. So like, but me getting that would be through like, I guess my children in the future. They'll be saying whatever, and I'll be just like how my mom was like, "What do you mean?" But we'll see. We'll see when we get there.
Maybe that's just, well, obviously that's just me personally, but I feel like with our generation right now, like we're very social media heavy, and I still feel like even when we get older, like we are still gonna be on social media, like maybe. Well. Okay, never mind. But like, yeah.
Because even with this is still media. This is still social media. I feel like I could see myself doing this in the future, but I don't see myself posting consistently on Instagram in the future. But that's even just Instagram that we talked about. I want to mention TikTok now, which is even worse. Because more specifically, my question is going to be kind of like for college students in general, not just you. You can tell your experiences as well. But do you think that TikTok has like slowly but surely diminished everybody's attention span?
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm living proof of this.
Yes.
Like I cannot. I'm gonna say quick story time. So last week was my birthday, and all my loved ones, they like put like a video together. They just put a video together, like they love me, yada yada. I'm like, okay, cool. But I literally put it in 2x speed right away because it's just like my
People
brain.
took their time to record this video saying, "Oh, Dara, I love you having you as a friend." She took it. She didn't even listen. She just put it on Twitter and started watching.
I just like my brain. Even lecture videos, like even sometimes the songs I be needing.
Did you save the video and then put it in 2x speed?
No, they sent it to me on iMessage, and there's a new like anyway you can put on 2x speed, and like it's like it was like muscle memory. Like my brain is just conditioned, and I
do this?
Yeah. And TikTok, I blame TikTok. And I remember like when I first got on TikTok, like in 8th grade, like sometimes you'll scroll. Well, I had Musical.ly and I got TikTok.
Yes, Musical.ly.
And then you'll scroll for an hour.
You just made me feel old by saying you got it in 8th grade. I didn't have TikTok until like COVID.
Well, that was 8th grade for me.
I was in, that was freshman year. So that's like a year. But it's still, cause it still made me, was it? No. Sophomore year. It was a freshman year, sophomore year.
Okay, like a year apart.
COVID was your sophomore year?
No.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
get TikTok for my sophomore year.
But yeah, like you would scroll and you think it's been 5 minutes, like whole time it's been an hour. So I think I'm very, I'm very living proof of that. And acknowledgement is the first step. So.
Before you move on to her, I'll have you answer the second question too.
Okay.
Has that affected you in like the classroom as well? Do you feel like you can't focus in class?
no shade, but in college you kind of have to teach yourself. So I don't pay attention in class anyways. Like unless it's like a math class I took, I didn't really pay attention. But I would watch lecture videos, and those lecture videos I'd also put them into X speed. So my brain is just kind of
Actually, I do the same thing for that.
Yeah, because they be talking math, so and it's like if I understand it, I understand it, and like my grades are fine. So I guess.
Yeah. To answer your first question, well, yes, I do think TikTok has fried everybody's attention spans. Like, I'll be hearing people scroll on TikTok and just like everything like because they're putting everything in 2x speed, or like there'll be a video and it's maybe like 2 minutes long, and then they'll watch like the first 10 seconds and then just scroll, and it's just like I think because we're just so used to getting those quick like doses of dopamine from like scrolling.
I'm very passionate about this
because I feel like at the end of the day, this is how people get dementia by age 40. Like, I'm so serious. Like, because if you don't like start training your brain to be able to like handle loads of information over a very long period of time, that's how you just your brain muscles stop working. Like, guys, listen to me, please. Like, I'm such an advocate for this. Like, for one, I think we need to limit our time on TikTok anyway, number one. And then number two, when you get like, and the thing is, TikTok is so diverse. Like, you could get like a 5-minute like news video from like ABC News talking about something that happened recently, and then you can get like a quick little 30-second like, you know, comedy video. People need to be able to like know how to what am I looking for? Like, yeah, like, and I feel like TikTok has programmed, like, because at first TikTok just used to be really quick, like, you know, like 30-second videos, but now people are able to upload much longer, like 10-minute videos on TikTok, and people, and people are not like used to sitting down and like having their brain like process information over a period of time, you know, if that makes sense. So just and honestly, I'm not gonna say I'm completely immune to it, because there'd be times where like I put a video on 2x speed because they're not talking fast enough, or I'm trying to just like get through the video. But I don't think it's really affected me in school, because for me, to get something like really packed down, I watch it over and over and over again. So even if I did watch it in 2x speed, I'm gonna keep watching it until I like get the information down. So
you guys kind of already answered the question before, but I just want like an overall answer. How do you think social media as a whole affects like the average person's mental space? Like, when people are off of it, do they just like constantly think, oh, something could be happening on social media right now, things like that?
I feel like, yeah, social media has kind of built that like FOMO culture, I guess, where like people are constantly posting like everything that they're doing. And so like if you were to, for example, delete social media, and Dara, I'm gonna use you as an example. Yeah. I'm so sorry, but I know if Dara were to like delete Instagram for like a day or two, she'd be like, oh, like what's going on? Like even in real life, in real life, if people are having a conversation without her, she's like, oh, like involve me,
because she really has like big FOMO.
Like I feel like people.
I feel like that's not from social media though.
No, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I'm saying. Like,
not from social media. So, but I feel like social media has like had an influence on that like FOMO like kind culture, of culture. So what was the question?
Like, how do you just think like affects the average person's mental space?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know.
You did say before that people need to learn how to like regulate themselves. Yeah. So I feel like that already kind of answered the question. And so I just want to see if there's anything else that you wanted to say about it. Okay.
I don't know if this is more like, well, I feel like it can happen to anyone, but more towards girls, especially like when you're younger, like in high school. And social media, you have to be very careful what you consume, because especially it's like if you're like you know 13, 14, 15, you're seeing like these really like skinny girls, or like and there's like a culture of like eating disorders, and like in high school, like Titi really went through it with that. So like clearly I haven't learned on social media, but like you just really, and I feel like parents really need to be careful what their kids are consuming. Like I know we're not parents yet, but that's one thing I would make sure I do. Because even like I work with little kids like age 9, and they all have like iPads and stuff, and they all know the internet references and stuff. And like I know they have like parent self-control or whatever, but like still like social media is scary. Like People are very easily influenced, so just making sure.
On top of that too, with being easily influenced, nobody has like a mind of their own now. And I'm not saying it's bad to follow trends, but like I feel like that also ties into the FOMO culture. Like, oh, so and so is doing this, or so and so is going this place. I want to be there. I need to do that. And then when they're not, or like let's just say they don't like get the opportunity to do the same thing. Now they're like hyperventilating, like, oh my gosh, you know. And I also think that's like part of people not knowing how to think for themselves. Like, I feel like social media has made everyone just one big like mush of brain, you know. Like, people need to be able to like, especially when it comes to like politics and stuff like that, people form their opinions and like their viewpoints based off of what they hear their favorite person online saying about like X, Y, and Z situation. So I just feel like also to stepping off social media and like reading articles and like seeing news stuff that isn't biased, because everything you see on TikTok is biased. I don't care. Like being able to read and like dissect unbiased news is also very important. So.
And I feel like a little bit of what you said kind of goes into like the parasocial like relationship stuff. Cause like a lot of people.
You still ride for Megan though.
Clay, when I catch you, when I catch you, Clay, when I catch you.
Yes, 4 rings.
Bro.
How many rings does Meg have?
Anyways, it goes into the parasocial relationship conversation as well, because, and I'm gonna use like Love Island as a good example, because like I feel like last season USA, like a lot of people felt like there was a lot of parasocial relationships formed with those people on the island, because like Huda, number one, okay, like I'm not a fan of her. I don't hate her.
A beauty brand.
Well, there it is, Huda Beauty, but Huda.
She owns it.
No. Yeah, but a good example, Huda. You know, a lot of people, you know, defend her. You know, good thing, you know, defend her. You know, defend your girl. But when it gets to the point of like you're like going to her house, you're feeling like you're best buddies with her because you've been apparently going on her comments, this and her third. You're going to someone else's Instagram to go and insult their own family because they cuss out. Like when it gets to the level of you're doing over too much over this one person you've never met in your life. You literally just found them out like 2 weeks ago because they went on a reality TV show that you love. Like that's what's getting too much. Like it just goes into like the same conversation of like everyone just has the same like mushy brain because everyone is following this one person, or because everyone loves this one person. Okay, I'm gonna go ride or die for this one person. Mind you, the person doesn't even know you. Person walk by you. You don't know the person either. Like
what they present.
Exactly. Like the person walked by you in the street today, they're not even gonna bat another eye to you because they don't know you. Like what the heck? Like bro, I feel like that the whole conversation of Love Island is like another conversation, because like personal relationships are very scary and it's very like mind-boggling, because people will go over and aboard like whatever they will say. Yes, whatever. They will do too much over people on social media because they feel like they always watch their videos, they always like their videos, they always comment, they always, you know, watch their YouTube, whatever, this and the third. They feel like they know them through a screen that like that's come on, like you're doing too much.
Back to our last segment of the day before we wrap things up.
So sad.
Though this won't be the last time you guys will be on this podcast. Let's see.
Give out Republic for life. I know that's right. Let's see.
I changed my mind. This will be the last time they're on this podcast.
No, it's not.
But yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about was based off of what Dara had said earlier, about how the parents need to regulate what their kids, well, how much screen time their kids have and what they're really doing on the internet. But how would you even go about doing that? Where like the internet, you could do. I've seen a whole bunch of stuff even on YouTube Kids that shouldn't be on YouTube Kids. So if they can't really do it, how do you expect to be able to do it for your children?
That's a very good question. Like, because my brother, I have a little brother, he's 9, and like he has an iPad and stuff, and we have like parental controls and stuff, but like he be finding stuff if you get. So what I think I'll do for my kids, no shade, there's like even a 9-10-year-old, you don't need technology. Like you're in like 3rd grade, what could you possibly need a phone for? Like the reason why my parents did it is because sometimes like they work late and I'll be home with my sister, so just like call or to FaceTime, which I do understand. But God willing, I'm in a situation where it's like my kids like don't, at least one parent's at home all the time. Do you get? So no phones until like maybe even like 13, and even then I'm still gonna be looking at what they're watching. But it's like, what could you really do, like aside from just restrict? But I don't know.
Yeah, my kids won't be having iPads.
How?
No. And I feel like also because like me growing up, I didn't get, my first phone was a flip phone, and I got my first phone when I was like 9 or 10, but I was the oldest of 3, and like my mom was working late and stuff, so like obviously she had to be in communication with me somehow. But I'm gonna carry that tradition down to my kids. Like my kids are gonna get flip phones until they get to middle school or whatever. And I also just feel like the pressure in like even in starting in middle school of like, oh, you need to have this phone, you need to have that phone, you need to have this iPad, whatever. That's like the majority reason why these kids even want the technology that they have today. Like I be seeing 13-14-year-olds walking around with the new, like, bro, don't blow me. Like they don't need that. And so I probably didn't get my first iPhone till like what, 16, and it's like kids are gonna find stuff on the internet anyway, but I'd rather my kid like at least build a relationship with my kid and have my kid like know the, like, I guess know the correct way to use technology, even though like kids at the end of the day will be kids. But like I just feel like before 13, like they don't and I pray to be a very like present like mother in my kids' lives, so like they won't need an iPad.
Before you move there, I want to say something because I'm gonna forget it. Sorry. And I feel like it's different for everybody in terms of like, I feel like even if you do, let's say you were to give your kids an iPad, knowing how you are, your kids will become more like how you are. So if they see you on technology all the time, then they'll do the same thing. If you give I feel like with you, if you give your kid an iPad, they might not use it as much as the average child now. Just because, one, they don't really, I feel like you would have the type of house space to where like it's not dependent on, your entertainment isn't dependent off of that.
Like my kids are gonna
like niggas, they don't play at the park no more. Like
Legos,
they don't color no
outside,
more. They don't touch grass.
Doing sports and stuff. Like my mom had me in 5 sports back to back. Like I didn't have time for iPads, bro. Like.
And a perfect example of this is like, I have 4 sisters. All of them have iPads, but they don't. I feel like there's a balance because they'll use the iPads when it's like, okay, let's say they just want to watch something. Okay, cool. But they still prefer going outside, doing physical activities, all of that, over just being on the iPad all day. But I've seen like kids where if you take the iPad, they start crying, whatever. It can't be like that. But I feel like, I'm not trying to be like, what's it called, stereotype anymore, but I feel like African homes is not really as common though.
It's becoming common.
Now.
Also, we have to look at it from like a different perspective, right? A lot of like African immigrants, especially if you're new to this country, you have to give African parents grace because a lot of these parents work, and like I definitely, there's like one of my aunts, like she just had to work, like no shade, like she didn't have the money to sign her kids up for sports. Like you kind of just have to like use the temporary solution and like, okay, if I give her the iPad, she'll be quiet and I can get some work done, kind of thing. So you just really have to like just pray that you have the privilege to be able to like actually spend time with your kids and like let's go to the park, like, you know, just
because at the end of the day you can't really be mad at the parents who end up like giving their kids iPads when they really don't have any other choice. Like you know, they'll watch, like kids become preoccupied with the iPad. That's the only time like the mom or the dad or whatever can like clean the house, cook anything, because their kid is preoccupied. So you can't really be like upset, but we just have to like try and do better, you know.
I agree.
I thought you said everything. Yeah.
Did you have anything to say about the original question? Like, how would you be able to regulate how much screen time your child would have? Like, what do you plan on doing for your children in terms of like technology?
My answer is kind of the same with both of them. Like, my kids aren't having iPads or technology till like 13. Obviously, like, if I have the privilege to be more present with my kids, like, I would be more present with my kids. But a little, like, to touch on what Ola said, like, with the whole, because when I moved to America, like, when I was in middle school, obviously, like, I mean, in Nigeria, I had a phone, but it was like the Nokia, like, button, like, phone, like, you know, I had a game. I mean, I had games on there, but like, it was like, you know, it wasn't like the screen. Yeah, it wasn't like overly crazy, and like, it was just enough for me to call my parents, you know, whatever, because I was at school by myself, you know.
You don't know nothing about minutes. You have to buy minutes for the phone.
Like, all that. So, you know, you can't just use your phone whenever you want. I had...
What are you talking about?
But that was the kind of phone I had in Nigeria. When I moved here, I didn't have technology because, like... Whoa, what?
She said she had a blueberry.
I had a blackberry.
That's how you know she's young, bro.
Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, when I moved here to America, like, I didn't have no sort of technology at all because, like, my parents saw how, like, everyone was on social media, all the kids were on the phones, and they're like, absolutely nothing for you guys, you know, like, absolutely nothing. So, like, in high school, like, obviously everyone and their mother has a phone, they have iPhone, and I'm looking over here like, involve me, like, I want a phone too. But like, I didn't get one, and like, my priorities were like set on like other things, like my family, sports, friends, activities, like other things in school. Like, I was playing volleyball, I was doing all these things, like, you know, I was doing other things. So like, the kids will be fine. Like, if they don't have a phone, they will be fine. They will look for other things to entertain themselves. Like, and then at the same time, like, I understand, like, oh, like, African parents, like, them giving their phones to kids because, you know, they're working, they don't have money to, like, you know, entertain their children. But I feel like kids, like, especially young kids, like, if they have even basic simple things to like entertain themselves, like they will find something to entertain themselves. Like, even if they don't have Legos, I understand Legos is very expensive. Let's even leave Legos where Legos is. Legos is expensive, but I'm sorry, like, no, because we're talking about African people here. I'm sorry, but like, when it comes to kids, we're going to find a way to entertain ourselves. Like, even if they're in middle school, put them in a sport, band, drawing activity, like after school activities is free. Put them in after school activities. They will be fine. Like, maybe even simple, buy a book of like, I don't know, STEM like things, or like, you know,
be prepping them
like,
for that
exactly
now.
Like,
buy
you know, simple
books.
Educational things. Like, they can be putting the things they're more attention into, like, they will be fine. Like, you know, the excuse of like, oh, they just want to give it to them because they don't have time to entertain them, I feel like is a little bit like, that's just an easy route. You know, if you really, really, truly care about your kids' lives and like exactly like what you know, or like what you know about social media and stuff, like, you wouldn't actually put that technology in their hand, because at the end of the day, they're still young, they're still kids, and they will find other things to entertain themselves. Like, they will be fine.
And they're gonna thank you for it later.
Yes.
I'm still very grateful to my mom that I didn't have social media at 9, 10, 11. So I'm very grateful to her. So,
all right. Thank you guys for your answers.
I'm a come up. This is my life. I ain't gonna lie. This is mine.
Thank you. Anyways, like all great things, they must all come to an end eventually. Like this podcast.
We'll be back.
We'll see about that one. Like I said, actually, there's something else too before we end. Because I had this written down before. I like to put a quote of the day at the end of the podcast, just to give just a little, you know. So the quote of the day for today is, "Not everything that gets your attention deserves your energy." But yeah, like I said, I'm your host, General Q, of course.
Come on, General Q. You're not nobody's general.
And this is Educated Arguments. Thank you.